This might get weird.
Are we rolling?
Yeah, we're rolling.
Well, then cheers, Grace Helbig.
Cheers, Mamrie Hart. Woo-woo.
You guys, wow. I am in a Fort Lauderdale hotel room. I've got one bar of battery left. I've got one little lamp. I look like I'm escaping something. And Chip is on his way home. And we have brunch reservations. And everything is crazy. The reality drama is now this podcast.
Such, it is stressful, I know, but such beautiful problems to be like, I have to record my reality show podcast so I can make it in time to go to brunch with my boyfriend.
I'm thankful. It just, these quick little weekends. And then our drama is that we both were going to watch the newest Drag Race this morning, and Prime Video was taking forever to put it up.
So we had to watch it with commercials.
You guys, I just watched Drag Race while showering.
Yeah, it's 9:30 a.m. here, and I just finished the episode on a Saturday morning. This is how I know that maybe the fatigue is setting in from radiation, is that in the beginning of this episode, when they are all dancing with Charo at the end, I started tearing up because I was like, they're having so much fun. Look at this pure joy that is manufactured for television. Yeah, it got me. Let's get right into it since it's fresh
let's Drag
on our
Race
brain.
it up, since I literally just had it propped against a toilet paper roll and was like, Grace, I'm getting on the Zoom. And then I was like, nothing works.
Well, we have to do a really quick
recap.
Well, I would just like to bow our heads quickly as a salute to the crowd favorite, a mandatory meeting last week.
I know.
How devastating.
I know.
I was so sad.
Honestly, the same way when we do a podcast, we immediately forget what we said. I immediately forget what I watched. So it was Girl Group last week.
Girl Group. Oh.
And I love Amanda so much.
Same.
And, I think a lot of these queens are fantastic, but I want to hang out with Amanda, Dawn, and Q.
100%. 100%.
Maybe Saphira. I like Saphira too. But I just I wanted to see not even what she was going to do in challenges the rest of the season. I just wanted to watch her interact.
Her personality.
She's just got such good energy.
Exactly. She had such a good energy. She left with her head held high. Yes. I honestly didn't hate the weird ass robin's egg nest situation that everyone seemed to hate so much, but maybe that's just me.
Here's
it was
the deal.
Off base, but I thought that was kind of charming.
I could appreciate the doing something different, obviously. I didn't hate the look. However, it was just such a from A to Z. It felt like one of those things where when you have a laughing fit with a friend and you're like, that's the funniest thing you've ever said. If you told someone else, they'd be like, and I feel like she was brainstorming this look, and her and her friends were probably like, oh my God,
100%.
That is brilliant. And then in retrospect, it's like, it was confusing.
It's like when we would do shows and we're putting together bits last minute, we're like, this is so funny. And then we try it on stage and we're like, okay, that was funny to us at 4 a.m. full of martinis in our hotel room last night.
We're like, and now we've got a graphic of a penis tricycle.
Yes.
While we paint our faces like Gautier. I guess we're doing it. I'm going to miss mandatory. And it was just kind of, ironic, shitty because Plain Jane did so well. And so
here's the deal. Plain Jane is good at drag.
I know, really
that's the unfortunate truth, which makes her great television, is that she is a mean bitch, but she walks the walk, talks the talk.
She has the skills. And as we saw in last night's episode, and the newest one, she can also sew incredibly well.
Yeah. And she pulled something out.
I know. What do we think about the fact that now that a mandatory meeting is gone, Plain Jane saying that they're going to turn a new leaf?
I like, who was it? Magami or Geneva that said, if you turn a new leaf, it's still the same leaf.
No, I was like, philosopher Magami over here.
I loved it. But I do love that she just immediately started dragging the fabrics that were part of this challenge. So their challenge is to create these dolls based on their drag personas.
I love this challenge.
So fun. They're throwing a lot of design challenges up front. I feel like they're strategically trying to eliminate certain queens. Like,
really?
Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I'm like, this seems like a lot of sewing stuff right out of the gate right now.
No, it's interesting because Chip and I always talk about, especially when we're watching Survivor, of like, do they know? Because, you know, they have all the challenges there they need to. And they could put up whatever a day before. Right. Are they like, for the sake of the story of this season, we need to do this because we know this is their underdog moment. This is their strength. And so I wonder, too, since all these queens bring costumes and are prepared for the whole season, whether they make it or not, if they are like, guys, we should probably go with a design challenge next week.
Yeah, I don't know. It makes you wonder. You start to get conspiracy theories about the way they're producing in real time to get some queens off. But also, okay, let's just go through it. They, again, it's unfortunate. I love Nymphia so much.
Love her so much.
But now I don't believe anything she says, nor do any of the other queens. So even if she is actually struggling, people won't even like feel for her.
I know. She's the girl who cried. I don't know. I need to be inspired. However, I love when she was in the workroom and she goes, help a banana nut. And I'm just like, she is the cutest in the world to me. God. And then who was it? I forget, someone was traveling with her this week and I was watching on Instagram and it might have been Dawn. And it was like, which one's Nymphia? And they're walking up on them at an airport terminal or an airport gate. And it's just a cloud of yellow, like a huge yellow backpack, a huge yellow hoodie. Amazing. And she was just like so sleepy.
Oh, she's sticking to her brand. I love, there's a moment that's going around on Twitter where Plasma's asking Nymphia, do you like it? And it's dead silent for like 5 seconds. Yes. Do you like it? And she just goes, and just nods.
Killed me.
A funny moment. Then okay, obviously if you're doing a design challenge and all of the fabrics are very
similar,
particular, and then you choose something that is very similar, that's going to be like a huge issue. So
absolutely. And of course, I was actually, unless they took it out in the edit, I was proud of playing Jane.
Yeah, that costume looked great.
Well, it looked amazing, but also because I know the frustration. If this was week 1 and who was it? Geneva took all the red and wouldn't share it and then didn't even end up using it. Yeah. If that was week 1 Jane, she would have like gone off. But instead just conserved the energy and like got it done, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's, poor Geneva. But Geneva, even though she struggles, she has the greatest attitude. She's just so lovely to me. Like, she's having the best time. She's lip synced about 6 times in a row or something.
Is this a record? She's done 3 out of 4, right?
Something crazy. I don't know what the actual stats are, but like at this point, you have to either get a massive fire lit under your ass or you just sort of accept your fate and you try to have a good time with the best you can do.
I think Geneva has had to lip sync for her life every single time there's been a design challenge because the first week, wasn't it like the top 2 danced and then it was like it was her 2 in a row and then she got out of it because of group. But every time there's been a single elimination, she's been there. Oh, God bless.
Wild.
And can we talk about I never remember her name, the flipping queen,
Maya Iman LePage.
Maya.
Okay, I love that on the runway her voiceover said, I'm shy, I'm outgoing.
She confuses me.
Does she know she's doing 2 opposite words to describe herself? I couldn't tell if this was intentional or accidental.
Right. Are you brilliant or do you just not get it? And I feel like it's just so interesting because it also goes to show, because so many girls were like, oh, I follow you on Instagram or TikTok. You're amazing. How much you can give yourself a personality in editing.
Yeah.
Because God bless, very sweetheart, but just even having the time to like write a couple jokes for the voiceover on the runway, and she couldn't do it.
Yeah. And I feel like Ru has been pushing her, but I mean, we're going to jump around, but
sorry.
So she lip syncs this week.
Yeah.
We'll go back to some runway stuff, but she lip syncs this week. And I just kept thinking, this is going to be impossible to like compete against if she's in the if you're in the bottom with her. what do you do? Like, you really have to be creative about the way you tell your story on stage during a lip sync, and like, I think be more clever than like, because stunts are incredible and she is fantastic with that breastplate and that hair that she and those boots that she was doing, all of those flips. It was blowing my mind.
Like, me and you could be in just a full top to bottom sweatsuit and not pull off a somersault.
Yeah, I could be attached to wires that someone is pulling up to help me flip, and I would just be fully convulsing and having a difficult time.
I know. I could be on bungee cords on a net with mats, and I'd still probably cry on camera because I'm too nervous to actually do a backflip.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I will say, going back to the runway looks, I love Dawn's look. I love specifically that one of her voiceover qualities was that they have a sincere introspection on her role in the universe. And I was like, I love that. Just existential crises. And that she's great at pretending to work from home. Get to work. Just kidding. Let's get drunk.
I love it. I think that Dawn had the best critiques.
Yeah, well, same with Q. Q, obviously, this was like her challenge to lose. And that headpiece looked incredible.
I think that while they've enjoyed her, I do think that like Rue and some other girls are realizing what a contender Dawn is.
Yeah. I feel like they're giving her a little bit of an edit to go far.
I hope so, because she could. I feel like at the beginning she was kind of lumped in with like a mandatory meeting.
Yeah.
I mean, they were friends, but also just, you know, if you're going to hunker down and decide that I'm an alien queen.
Yeah.
To me, that could either be like, well, you can pull that off because you're so brilliant, or you're like, oh, are you hiding behind a massive gimmick because you know you can't make something sophisticated?
And that's tough, right? Because a lot of queens before her have come on with the gimmick that they're from outer space or something. So you have to make it uniquely yours, because then it just feels like a copy paste of someone that's gone before you.
Totally.
I do find it interesting, dun dun dun, that we find out that Plain Jane is a bitch because her family is the way they are. I mean, that's how it always is. And
I told you they're going to give her an arc.
They are giving her an arc. Like a redemption arc, but it feels like it's a bit of a struggle because she literally cannot help her. Like, you can see the hateful comment working its way up her esophagus, and she's like cannot keep it from leaving her mouth.
Two things. One, I do think they're giving her a good edit now, and the plan all along, because that interview about her dad and the upbringing, she could have recorded on day one, but they dropped it in at this moment so we can start to be like, hey, maybe she's not the most awful. Yeah. And two, you can tell that Jane has, at least I would think, that she has like a very close-knit group of girls that of friends that they just rag each other constantly. Yeah. So that way the things that come out that other people are like, insert little cobra noise, like that's so mean. That she probably like has friends that like that's just their back and forth, and like don't take it personally.
Totally. I feel like she also is probably so hard on herself, so she knows every possible thing that someone could critique already. So if someone said it, she's like, I already know. Like, totally, it does not affect me.
Okay, final thoughts on this week's episode.
I did see one. Tsunami is like such a flirt and makes me feel a certain way. Even from last week when they did the Pussycat wigs and she came out as like a matador, I was like, huh, whoa.
I know. And now with the flamenco.
Yeah.
So sexy. Then those bell bottoms. So sexy.
Also, La Roche is like a great judge. Like such. Everyone is like wishing that was a permanent.
I agree. And
judge.
I'll tell you what, because I only watched a couple episodes of the ball, like the drag ball show he did, where he was like pretty aggressive in it. And I get it. It's like
harsh.
That's all he was the Simon Cowell of that, like lineup. But on this, it's the first time I've ever been like, oh, I like you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw him on a plane once. Or them on a plane. Yeah. And they looked fantastic.
Amazing. We also get Saphira drinking her immunity potion, which is so funny that they literally make her drink it.
What do you think is in there?
It's got to be just water with dye. I mean, it's got to be.
So, but that would dye your mouth. It's got to be like Gatorade or something.
Yeah. It's
I
just
want to
so
have.
funny.
I think we should have a finale party, unless you get invited to go to it, because then please take me. We need our reactions.
Yeah.
But that should be the shots. I'll get
Yes.
like little like
Yes.
princess vials, and it'll be immunity shots.
Because it looks like Saint Germain bottles, like little those little things. Anyway, I think it was also a fun fact. Nymphia was wearing a mandatory meetings wig that she left for her on the runway. So Amanda was still there in spirit. How
We
fun!
love that. They should make everyone wear it once
Yes,
a week.
I think we're getting a push for. Okay, here's as of this point, this would be my final 3, and I talked to Tim about this a little bit too. Well, maybe final 4: Saphira, Plain, Dawn, and Nymphia. I think are my tops. And Q is there, but Q I think is going to struggle unless because there's always going to be choreography.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
Q
that's
is
my
not a
worry.
dancer. Q is not. Yeah,
An incredible designer, incredible, but I
think
don't know.
that's- Yeah, I think Q would be the other contender to maybe slide in there, unless say if someone like totally chokes,
Right,
You know
because
what I
I
mean?
heard Willem say on Race Chaser that like the winner of Drag Race is always a standout performer, like puts on a show, and that they couldn't see Q like filling that
Busting
spot.
out. Oh,
So-
but we got the heartstrings. We know Q's upbringing.
I know it's gonna be tough, but a lot of really great queens. Very excited
Really
to
great
continue
queens.
watching.
Okay, let's go. Sorry, guys.
We gotta go
Listen,
Bachelor.
Next week will be a massive episode, but this one,
strapped.
it's a snack. It's a snack. Okay, it's an espresso shot. Okay. Well,
Let's go
first, let me just.
Bachelor.
Yeah, because I'll say real quick,
Yeah.
Vanderpump Rules. I don't have a lot to comment. I think it was a filler episode.
Yes. What are my even notes on? Poor Anne. Are my notes on Vanderpump?
Oh, the assistant. I'm
Assistant.
seeing stuff about
Justice
her
for
all on
Anne.
TikTok. Yeah.
Justice for Anne. And then also I feel like Tom is working really hard to try to produce himself this season. He's like, I want to get back with Raquel. I'm sober because of Raquel. I think he thought that Raquel would join this season and they'd be able to continue their
Yeah.
storyline. So he's speaking that as much as he can, as if that was going to happen. But she's, as far as I know, hasn't filmed with them at all this season.
So he was hoping maybe he could come in, be like, hey, I actually pulled it off and I've kind of
Right.
calmed the waters. Now come back and let's be a couple on air.
Yeah, like he's writing his storyline, but it's not working out that way. Also, he said his bank account was overdrawn and that he tried to buy Ariana out of the house. I don't understand.
Yeah, choose a lane. I would like to know if, because he went to New Zealand. He went on tour with the band and then went to New Zealand to avoid it all. I want to know if he signed up for the New Zealand show to get away from this, or if he'd already signed that contract and they were
Right.
like, "Oh, you're not getting out of this. You're the man on everyone's lips."
Yeah, and I also think he needed a paycheck because he was pushed out of Schwartz and Sandy's, which, look, I don't know what's going on with Schwartz, but I hate that he is making a bad name for Libras. As a fellow Libra, I'm very disappointed, but I also kind of understand. But man, he's got to, do some work. And also, I kind of want Allie to read my birth chart.
Wait, we can make that happen.
I've had it read before, but I'd be curious what she says about
Wait, can
it.
we? I say we try to like slide into her DMs this
Right?
week.
Possibly.
Let's do it.
Possibly.
Oh my God. I've never had a birth chart. My hair is crazy. Okay. So Bachelor.
Yes, Bachelor. Okay, we're getting some stupid drama. I have so many notes that just say, this show's stupid. This is stupid.
Well, here's the deal. This is disappointing. It's not
Really?
just stupid. It's disappointing because, like, granted, there can be some stupid drama.
Your
but,
hair, while you're saying
I know.
this,
I look insane. I look insane. There can be some stupid drama, but never in the history of watching this franchise, and
Yeah.
I've probably seen 20 seasons, have I seen someone try to take something and make it dramatic that isn't dramatic whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, whatsoever.
I keep trying to think, are they not showing
No.
us all the footage? Because
No,
this girl
is wild.
citing things that you would think they would show us if they happened. Like,
Yeah.
we're talking about Sydney and this Maria drama where, first of all, they do this beauty pageant at this theater, and the women from the Golden Bachelor show up, and then they all have to do a talent portion, which is so cringy to watch. And it's kind of hilarious that Sydney goes up and does like a cheerleading bit, and they put like the quirky, like, this is not going well music underneath
like
of
a fluffing of the duck. Like fluff a duck.
Yeah, exactly.
Sydney, to me, I think is not all there. Who is also trying to start this drama, who thought she was going to go up and crush it in a cheer routine. I'll say two things. One, I feel like I saw her when they were preparing for the talent show do an actual toe touch that was really good. So I don't know if they if she did more impressive things and they kind of cut around it. But just saying like, give me an eye, give me a whatever. It's like you can, this is, I mean, we did more advanced cheers when we were in like third grade.
Yeah. And I know they gave them minimal time. And so it's supposed to be like, let's see what you can come up with in this very like brief amount of time. Because Lexi's comes up and just kisses him.
Well, what did you think? Because some people were like, hey, I think you just rewarded laziness.
Yeah, I said, Lexi is kissing him. I hate this. Oh, she won. I get making a bold choice. You got to appreciate that she made a bold choice. And that's the thing. The editors could have edited that to look really, really dumb. They could have manipulated that and make it like the way they did with Sydney.
They could have put in crickets. They could have absolutely made it dead silent, cut to people's reactions to Sydney's routine, had like the old ladies be like, no. Yeah. But instead, it was like a princess big moment. They're
giving her a very complimentary edit. So it's like, oh, okay, she's going to go far. And then we get into this drama with Medina. Hearing the word bully scares me. And then Sydney says, I also felt bullied as well. What? And then she says, I'm done being attacked tonight. And
insane. Like, imagine, you know what I want? I want Sydney to have to spend 1 hour with Plain Jane. That's the mashup I want. She would truly be like, she is psychologically, I need to go to a rehab.
I don't think, because Sydney scares me in a way that I think she obviously 100% believes her own reality. And I don't think she's a person that has any effort towards thinking of someone else's perspective. I think she has been
she learned the word gaslight. Yes. And made it her personality.
This is why all of this pop psychology jargon that gets passed around is a little bit dangerous. Yeah. And because people were posting on Twitter that she posted this other video of her getting ready. Like, get ready with me.
That's what I watched. And it was insane.
The editing. Come on, girl. Let's make these jump cuts. Okay? We got to work on this. Like, the pace of that video.
The queen of jump cuts.
I was like, we can do better than this if we're going to make a video about gaslighting. It's pretty infuriating.
I really, that to me, she seems like one of those girls that all she wants to do is take, obviously we've seen this, one little moment. I'm thinking of Sydney socially. She has a group of girls that all talk trash about each other. And that's just their whole personality. And none of them actually date or have fun.
Yeah, she doesn't.
You know what I mean? Like, she's so in her own like Melrose Place. Hi.
Yes.
I'm 40. She's in her own little microcosm of drama that you'd be like, oh, so you don't like fun. Yeah. So this could be fun and you're making it like this for no reason.
Everyone that says I'm not this person is in fact that person.
Except for Maria, who's being blamed for being a bully, who's actually like very normal and very level-headed.
I've been saying this. I love Maria. And
I know. I just hate her style.
But that's the thing that I love too, is I have no idea what she's going to wear. I have no idea what she's going to get changed into halfway through. And that keeps me on my toes. I loved her response when Sydney tattled the drama to Joey, and then he came to her to ask for her side of the story. And she could have said a ton of shit. But the fact that she said, if you like her, you can't possibly like me,
was the most epic thing to say.
Elliot got off the couch and cheered at that moment. He was high as a kite and was just like, that is what you say. That is great.
It's a perfect way to put it, because it kind of goes, even though obviously the producers are making him keep her for one more week for Sydney to stay. I don't think they have any type of connection. There's other people he's like made out with that he's like, I need to get deeper with. And it's like, this girl, you guys haven't even had any conversation that isn't about another girl.
Exactly.
But when she said that, it made it perfect, because it put it in a way that, two things. One, I've seen someone say something like this before, and instead it backfires on them, and the person is like, well, you're questioning my choices, and like you know what I mean? They feel like emasculated. But two, it almost like gave an ultimatum of like taste of like, well, look, it's one or the other. So like one of us needs to go, kind of, without saying that.
It's like passive shade to be like, we're different. We're very different people. It's like the best thing you could say, that it really questions like, you got to figure out what you like, because if you like her, I am so radically different that I can't believe you could like me, and don't waste my time then. Exactly.
Well, I don't believe you could like me. And also it goes, hey, and if we keep liking each other, your attraction to her might make me unattracted to you.
Yeah. It was just the perfect response.
It was fantastic.
I was all for it.
Fantastic. Who was the other one that went on the one-on-one date, the surfing?
Jess.
She's fine.
Yeah, I feel like I know her. Like, have we met this girl?
She has a familiar vibe.
So familiar. But she also just seems like sweet and chill. Like,
yeah, she seems adorable, but like, I am preferring the ones with a little spicier personality. No shock to anyone.
Oh wait, is it Jess? Jess is the other girl. Jen went on the date. Jess is the one.
Jen.
Jess, I feel like they're building her up to have more moments later on, because they started strong with her in the beginning of like, I kissed him first, and then now she's kind of faded away. And but I feel like she's going to come back into play.
Oh, I think if she's not like top 2, or even still, I think they're setting her up for a possible Bachelorette.
Jess. Oh, see, I think they're setting Daisy up with the cochlear implant for that.
See, I think Daisy is amazing, but unless something shows, she's not spicy enough.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She's just so sweet. You know what I mean?
You just want to protect her from the world.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if Daisy is like fucking in the fantasy suite. You know what I mean?
Fair.
And they kind of need
And she
that.
shouldn't. She's got integrity.
Shouldn't.
Also, I gotta say, I love how stupid it is to have KFC sponsor a pool party that ends up being so lame.
Incredible. I want a Colonel Sanders float for Palm Springs.
Yes.
The amount of KFC plugging was incredible. And then I went to Twitter and everyone was like, not Sydney starting a fight at our Colonel Sanders pool party. It's killing me.
I didn't know if that was something they always did, but I was like, this is
occasionally,
very funny.
like a couple times, I think it's a couple times a year they'll do it. And then of course it's like whatever, like, I don't know, Sony or recording group Capital or whatnot will put their artists on there for those, terrible moments.
Yes.
Which is so funny.
I really liked this back-to-back of Rachel getting her earring stuck on his sweater. And
I think she should have owned it more.
And
I
then
thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, same. And then after she got it unstuck, she went into telling him how he reminds her of her dad. And I was like, this is an interesting choice to come back after that very awkward earring stuck on his sweater moment.
Maybe that's why. Maybe she knew she was going in for like serious talk.
Yeah.
Which is why she couldn't like make the earring thing hilarious. Because if I had hugged and got the earring stuck, like I would have made it a whole act.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. And like a cute moment. And she was just like actually embarrassed.
Yeah. And I think nervous that she was going to rip her ear off her head.
Oh my gosh.
I did like too when they're doing the tennis thing. I used to watch James Blake play tennis growing up. And so I was like, oh, these are very serious tennis players that come on for about 4 seconds and then have to watch This is so sad.
People dressed as butter. But I did think it was a cute day. I think he's making good choices thus far.
Yeah, I will say he is living up to the active listening thing when Daisy was like, "Do you want to touch my cochlear implant?" And she said, "It makes me a little different." He said, "No, it makes you special." I was like, "Oh, Jesus Christ."
I know. He's doing great. There's two things, which I'm sorry I have to end on, you guys.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. This episode is only half an hour. We'll do a bigger one next week, I promise. One, there on TikTok, there is some doctor I saw pop up dissecting how yellow Joey's eyes are. And does he have jaundice or a liver issue?
Whoa.
I have not noticed his eyes are yellow.
I did notice
You did?
Yeah, I did. But I just thought he's got to be tired. He's probably up 16 hours a day filming.
Other people are being like, well, maybe like people can get personal sun damage to their eyes when you're outside a lot. And he's been an outside tennis pro forever. But so now I'm going to pay attention to that.
Yep.
Also, I didn't read the article, but several people sent it to us. Page 6, it absolutely destroyed me, and I don't know the context. And you know what? Honestly, I don't even want to know the context.
Okay.
It was, okay, I'm finding it right now. Where's this page 6 article? Oh my God.
Have I seen this? Maybe I've seen this.
Oh, it was, the page 6 article is basically saying that Bachelor Joey mixes up Gypsy Rose Blanchard and Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yes, that did get sent to us. And I saw that headline. I made a note to look at it later and I forgot about it.
But I was like, I don't even need to know. I maybe came up in Cavo and they're like, what do you think of who's this person? And he was like, Ruth Bader Ginsburg? Because he's thinking 3 names in a row.
Yeah, 3 old woman names in a row. Wow.
Killed me. I'm excited for next week.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like they're dialing up the drama and it's going to reach ahead. So I have a feeling this week's episodes all across the board on all 3 shows are going to be really interesting. Yeah,
me too. I'm ready for some Vanderpump dramatics. I'm ready for it to come out that Sheena kissed Schwartz because we know it's coming.
Oh, yes. I forgot.
And yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, so let's try to get Allie to read our birth charts.
Now I'm like nervous. Do I really want that? Yeah,
you
I
do.
think so. It could be harmless.
You do.
It could be insightful. It could change the course of my life.
You know what? This could get real.
Yeah.